Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having an absolutely fantastic day, and without any further ado, let's jump right into it. I sincerely hope that everyone has actually been paying attention, because something very big is clearly taking place and a lot of people continue to ignore it. Ripple. Yup, Ripple's in the news every single day. It has been announced that Ripple will be powering a new payment corridor. Actually, scratch that. Multiple new payment corridors between 27 new countries, as well as Australia, the United Kingdom, and the Gulf Cooperation Council. For those of you who've been keeping track, we've had a lot of Ripple news over the course of this year. The bulk of it really kind of began to enter the cryptocurrency space after we heard that XRP was not a security. And then we got a other little bump around the time when the SEC formally, I believe, dropped all charges against Garlinghouse and the other co-creator of the company. Since then, the amount of news about and from Ripple has kind of skyrocketed. And I'll say that I still find it quite interesting that a lot of other coins that do not have partnerships, that do not or are not being used by any other company, and the partnerships that they do have actually come from within their own ecosystem that they created themselves, that they then announced that they've partnered with. These coins continue to gain in popularity when they have no actual utility and are not being utilized. On the other hand, it is very interesting to see that a lot of the news that the cryptocurrency space received around 2017, 2018 timeframe, it always comes back, especially from Ripple, that they've actually done exactly what they said that they were going to do, times 4, give or take. It was estimated that at some point they would be working with roughly around 5 different banks. And that would kind of be like, the crescendo of it all. Cool, they're working with world banks, amazing, fantastic. But now that we continue to receive on a daily and or weekly basis news about this company and their new partnerships, I'm still not sure how anyone could choose to ignore them. And I hear someone being a smart aleck back there talking about, well, they're invested in Solana and Tron. And those are the coins that are going to make it, but not the one that we hear about daily and has actual partnerships. Ripple will be powering 27 new payment corridors between 27 African countries and Australia, the United Kingdom, and the Gulf Cooperation Council, or the GCC, under a new deal with an African mobile payments provider known as On Afrique. It is ONAFRIQ. I can only assume that this is a rapid play on words. On in French usually means we. So On Afrique would mean we Africa, or Africa we, if you will. Afrique is also not spelled correctly. They're missing an E there. And it could also mean on as the actual English word, like on Africa. This is taking place on Africa. This is what I assume from the context of the word. On Afrique will use Ripple Payments blockchain technology along with 3 partnering companies. They are Zazie Transfer, which will be providing transfer services to Australia, Pay Angel, which will be working between Africa and the United Kingdom, and PYYPL. I assume that's supposed to be People or people, just spelled incorrectly, will be serving the Gulf Cooperation Council member states. Once again, Ripple will be sending, and people will be using their corridors to send money to Bahrain, Kuwait, Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates, closely following the news that we just had a couple of days ago that Ripple is now officially legal within the country of Dubai, and they are now a payments provider there as well. But we've had little snippets of that over the course of the last year or so. For those of you who maybe were not here in the Jack Dorsey era of the cryptocurrency space before he literally just went into the woods and just started working on Bitcoin, the idea of Africa is that, for those of you who don't pay attention to news or never had actual history class, I'm not really sure. Banks don't like poor people, and the banking system has made explicitly sure that certain people on the planet do not have access to their systems. This is why, if you've been paying attention once again, over the course of the last 20 years or so within Africa, there's been a gigantic boom of people actually using even mobile minutes, like for their phone, as a form of currency. Not the entire continent. I know it's not all one place. I got it. A history class. I've been there. Is incredibly underbanked. And one of the ideas has always been that cryptocurrencies would actually be able to help the continent kind of, not even need the old banking system anymore. And this is kind of where we currently are. Very few companies have actually ventured into the idea of working in Latin America or Africa or Southeast Asia. It's mainly been Jack Dorsey's companies, Ripple, Cardano, and I believe there's one other. I'm forgetting the other name at the moment. Many companies have, interestingly, decided to always just stay within the United States or stay within the upper parts of North America, and this is why we don't hear about them as much anymore. So understand the gravity of 27 different countries within Africa: Australia, the United Kingdom, Bahrain, Kuwait, Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Dubai, Georgia. I mean, the list goes on and 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 on every single day about how many countries that Ripple is working with. These countries, for those of you who do not know, will all be using XRP. I keep seeing people discussing this online as if we are living back in 2016, 2017 all over again. Around 2019, the company Ripple announced that the thing that was previously called on-demand liquidity, they also had XRapid, and I mean, it was really like, it was 5 different things. They kind of all smashed them into one, so that anyone who would be using a Ripple payments service would basically exclusively be using XRP and the XRP blockchain as the payment rails. So the discussion of, well, XRP isn't being used by countries and or companies and or institutions and or governments and or banks has completely been thrown out the window. I need people to explain to me in plain English as to why you would choose, why you would choose Tron, Solana, and there's so many other chains that I want to say that don't have any actual partnerships but are incredibly popular. How you can hear this news and still not understand exactly how big Ripple and XRP are going to be. And I mean that explicitly. Like, I don't get it. The people I see online still talking about Dogecoin, and forgive me for saying these two, Chainlink as well. Chainlink, cool, is fantastic and awesome and amazing and will be doing amazing things in, fantastic future. But it does not compare. There's no other chain out there except for Ethereum that is doing anything remotely close to what Ripple and XRP are doing. Remittances make up a large part of cross-border payments within Africa. Ripple's Senior Vice President of Global Customer Success, Aaron Sears, told Cointelegraph, and I quote, Sub-Saharan Africa has proven to be a bright spot of crypto adoption, with consumers in countries like Nigeria, Kenya, and South Africa employing digital assets for real-world, day-to-day purposes. PYYPL is already a Ripple partner in its on-demand liquidity solution, and OnAfrique is reported to have integrated ODL as well. ODL is now, I believe, called Ripple Payments, where they're basically using, it's just a change of name, if anything, but they're using XRP. So, luckily, this news was actually widely discussed. I saw this on a number of different websites. Here's it from Business Wire. It's all over the place. It's just more of I can't imagine how people could still ignore this and make sure that they do everything in their power to follow every other coin that does not have partnerships. Is it because of the hype? Is it because you bought these other terrible coins years ago and you're kind of, sticking to it? I need to see this coin rise regardless of what happens. Not realizing that, the future will happen. Ripple, as it stands right now, will probably still be around in 10 to 15 years as a mega company. So I see these discussions. You've seen them before. Is it too late to buy XRP? Those are all complete nonsense. If you look at anything that's been happening in the past 6 months, crypto is going to be with us for a very long time. And when you hear about the solidification of these, what do you call, is it even a partnership when you're working with a country? It feels like it's so much more than that, or countries. How you could think that a coin that you've been holding for 2 years that has no partnerships and has done absolutely nothing could even stand anywhere near XRP. I sincerely don't understand it. So the gigantic news of the day is they're going to be working with an additional 27 countries. This is literally happening once a week, where we get like a big shebang news that we're working with another huge entity. We'll see. I think the main deciding factor, and it tends to happen nearly every single bull run, is when XRP's price becomes so restrictively high. I'm not talking about like $100, $900. I mean something along the lines of like $20, $25, and people realize they could have gotten it for cents. That I think will be the turning point where people kind of begin to respect it, because usually for some reason people only respect and look up to things that they can no longer afford. So that's Ripple has another huge, gigantic, mega partnerships under their belt, and I just sincerely hope that people are paying attention because, news. That's the Ripple news. And let's move on. Also in the news, and I guess what you would call logic, Robinhood, the popular trading platform, plans to expand into the European Union and into the United Kingdom brokerage options within the coming weeks. They said, with an experienced team in place, we will soon launch brokerage options within the UK. As another step in global expansion, we are also planning to launch crypto trading in the EU. Following our UK launch, the firm added. Robinhood said during the summer that it was looking to hire staff in the United Kingdom as it plans to expand into the region. We get often, every 2 or 3 weeks, like really weird UK news that the regulators there don't want this cryptocurrency exchange or that to happen, or this can't do that, or this is now illegal, and all these other things. So we've heard of a number of cryptocurrency exchanges who've begun to slowly wind down their operations within the UK, or simply don't service the UK, similar to how they did before. So Robinhood, unbeknownst to me about 3 years ago, is a massively large platform. Like, I know what they do, but it's almost like, the word's not delusion, but it's somewhere near there, like levels of Bitcoin ETF kind of things. Like, We can have 9 years of nonstop good Bitcoin news and adoption and knowing that all these major wealthy people are buying up all the Bitcoin. And then we get one rumor about a Bitcoin ETF and Bitcoin's price begins to skyrocket. It's the same exact thing with Robinhood years ago. I forgot which coins it was. Was it Shiba Inu? I don't remember. There were 3 coins that were being added to every other crypto exchange. I mean, in rapid succession, the price didn't move. They announced that they were thinking of adding it to Robinhood. The price went up by 16%. I don't get it. I don't understand why people focus exclusively on one thing. It's kind of like, I think there are over like 25. I think that's the number. Different Bitcoin, like spot Bitcoin ETFs around the world. And people only care about the one that Gary Gensler is going to allow through. So maybe I'm just not really understanding how the world or the universe works. But yeah, Robinhood is planning to expand into the EU. A lot of these exchanges, I don't bring you like the low volume news because it seems redundant. Since cryptocurrency prices were dropping over the course of the last 2 years, trading volume on these exchanges also went down as well. Surprise, less people were interested in the market, and as such, a lot of these exchanges began to look for new ways to make money. And a lot of them simply created their own other chains or other products and projects and had stable coins. So Robinhood, I assume, also has been having lower trading volume over the last 2 years. So they're looking to further launch into the EU and to the United Kingdom as an extra way to not recuperate, but just simply make more funds, especially as we continue on this bullish streak that we have been on. So cool. Fantastic. I hope it works out for them. I'm sure they'll do just fine whenever this does end up launching. And should there be a situation where we end up hearing that they've made bagillions of dollars over the course of a week, it also is going to make news and people will talk about how amazing and wonderful and fantastic that Robinhood is. And sure, why not? I guess Robinhood is the new Binance, which was the new Coinbase, which was the new Mount Gox. That's the Robinhood news. And yeah, let's move on. Why won't this ever end news? Like why is what's going on? So for those of you who missed it, FTX, not sure if you heard about it. Terrible joke. Collapsed about a year or so, give or take, like whatever the actual time frame might have been. And then we heard news that apparently there was a company or a couple rich people. The next letter after F is G. Is it A, B, C, D, E, F, G? Yep, it is. Announced that was terrible. Announced that they were going to try and create a brand new crypto exchange called GTX. The idea being is that the next letter after F is G, and therefore GTX would be like the next iteration of FTX. And then we had, I think, 2 people from, I believe, formerly from FTX who also announced that they wanted to like relaunch the crypto exchange. About a month ago, maybe 3 weeks at the time of me making this video, we had another news story that there was another group of, investors who were trying to put money together to be able to buy FTX or something like that because they wanted to relaunch FTX. And then we had news about 2 weeks ago that apparently Gary Gensler came forward and was like, yeah, cool, I give the green light to FTX relaunching as long as they do it in a legal kind of way. And I had a lot to say about it in that video because it seems extremely weird that or rather unweird, because it seems very Genslery of him, that he would give the green light of approval for something that literally allegedly took away billions of dollars from their customers before, it just, all of it seems, a lot of bit slimy, like the room just kind of smells at this point. So on top of that, this is why I said the never-ending story news. I don't understand how this continues to be a thing. I literally don't get it. Several former FTX executives have teamed up to help build a new cryptocurrency new crypto exchange in Dubai with a specific focus on what FTX failed to do: secure customer funds. I mentioned already before we already have so many other cryptocurrency exchanges. We literally don't really need any more. And I don't understand how one of the most popular topics of discussion can be, oh, remember that thing that allegedly stole billions of dollars from people and completely collapsed? Let's relaunch it. Oh, remember that thing that everyone was terrified and afraid and scared of just about a year ago? I think I'm going to use that again. And to keep having these people from behind the scenes talking about launching new versions of FTX, it's like, okay, so, we have other crypto exchanges that have not and did not collapse and did not steal billions from their customers and allocate funds in other places and do potentially, allegedly illegal things. And to hear that exchanges from before who allegedly did terrible things are coming back and trying to relaunch, it's like, if anyone ends up using them, I mean, it's like you touch the stove, you're like, oh my gosh, that hurts. And you're like, wait, but it didn't hurt my other hand. And you try with the other hand and that one also hurts. You go, whoa, 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 whoa. What about the back of my hand? Ex-FTX lawyer Can Sun, it is literally CANSUN, is leading the way with Trek Labs, a Dubai-based startup that received a license to offer cryptocurrency services in the region in late October. Backpack Exchange, okay, is the name under which Trek Labs will offer these services. Sun will receive support from ex-FTX employee Armani Ferrante, that's a very rich name, who serves as CEO of Trek's holding company in the British Virgin Islands, okay. According to a report by the Wall Street Journal, Ferrante also runs Backpack, a cryptocurrency wallet which is integrated into Backpack. The word Backpack is too... I'm getting like Dora the Explorer kind of. Is like the word backpack is just way too much in that sentence. Sun's former legal deputy at FTX, Claire Tsang, who is also Ferrante's wife, oh go figure, is also on Trek's executive team, go figure. However, once Trek raises an investment round, Tsang plans to transition out of the company as she has been working without pay, I'm sure, to help bootstrap the exchange. No one works without pay. Anyway. Cool. Fantastic. Another new iteration of FTX is trying to launch, this time in Dubai. I guess maybe they'll scramble up the letters and it'll be XFT or ABC, or they'll do something else different. But can we just stop? Can we just stop trying to relaunch FTX? Can we stop? Listen. Can we stop pretending that the people who used to work at this exchange before, like if you can logically say that they're former executives at the exchange that collapsed, that tells me that they were working there and probably, maybe, allegedly were part of the collapse early on. Like, collapses don't happen overnight. Like, it takes, months and years of bad stuff behind the scenes to... Anyway, that's the FTX news. It's constant, and I bring you this as more of a public service announcement warning. You don't need a new crypto exchange. You don't need to run, like, just because the new FTXs are going to launch. You don't need to be like, oh my gosh, I need another crypto exchange to use. Like, everyone should be avoiding these things. Like, I sincerely don't get it. That's the FTX is trying to relaunch in Dubai and Backpack and Dora the Explorer and Swiper No Swiping news. Alrighty. Let's move on. Also in gigantic news, and I don't even know where to actually begin on this one. So a number of years ago, back in good old 2017, maybe even 2018, I don't know numbers anymore. We heard that there was a new coin that was popping up, and it was called Tron. And I told a lot of people, wow, why would they name it after the movie? And people were like, it's not named after the movie, it's named after Babaja. And I was like, no, I'm pretty sure the way that the human mind works, people really liked that Tron remake, and they named it after Tron. So then Tron became this coin that everyone kept on saying was going to overtake Ethereum and be the next new amazing thing. And I kept on telling people in videos, as I make daily videos and have been doing it for like 900 years at this point, I began to, I show people what the news is. So I began to bring all the partnership news to the light and show people on the channel. And all the news about the partnerships was literally just that, like, the people from Tron were using a service, or they tried to get a partnership, but there wasn't a partnership, or they had like a memorandum of understanding, which is not a partnership, and that also ended up falling apart. And then the people from Tron were like, "Hey, look how many coins we have on our platform and our blockchain." And I was like, "No one's using them," because you can see like there are websites where you can see like actual like DApp and decentralized applications and apps on these things, and the website, like the daily usage of them. You can see how many daily users and how much money is flowing through them. Like 80% of them had like no money going through them. And then the best part for me for all of it was that there was an event that I think his name is Peter McCormick. I think that's his name. The guy from What Bitcoin Did's podcast. It's okay. I mean, like sometimes it goes a little unhinged. But anyway, he was at a party and Justin Sun was there, and he was like, "Hey, what do you have to say about Tron?" And you must all remember this. And he held up his microphone to his face, and Justin Sun said, "Buy my SHT coin. Buy my SHT coin." And I was like, did he just say that out loud? And it went across the internet, and everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe it." You know, he said it, and I was like, you all knew that this was a terrible coin to begin with. You needed this man to say it on camera. And then there was like a little bit of a, the word's not redo. What's the word? Not a makeover, but something similar to a makeover of his like personality and who he was. He ended up working with some country and they made him an ambassador. And I question if money was behind that, because why would any country make randomly Justin Sun an ambassador of their country? And I think his name became like His Royal Majesty or His Highness. It was like, look it up. It was all something very, very weird. I think the title got stripped from him, or he no longer has it. And then at some point, he began to announce that he was going to start buying a number of cryptocurrency exchanges. I think he bought 3 of them, 2 or 3. This was 2018, 2019, somewhere around that time. And the exchanges that he was buying were basically things that were collapsing. And I told people, like, once again, back then as well, like, you don't need to buy these things. You don't have to use these falling apart crypto exchanges because Justin Sun has bought them. And then he tried, I think he successfully did. I think he bought BitTorrent and then made BitTorrent token. And then that also ended up collapsing. He's everything that he's a constant investor. He's always investing in stuff. However, the investments are always like terrible. I can't remember. There were so many others where, what was the thing? I think he paid several $1 million to have lunch with Warren Buffett because he said that he wanted to like show Warren Buffett how amazing crypto was. Warren Buffett doesn't care about this space. He wants the money from the lunch. Like I don't understand a lot of the logic. And then at some point he put $100 million into something, and that thing also ended up collapsing as well. And since then, Justin Sun, like the makeover, if you will, like this, remodeling of his presence, has kind of gone into the background. When FTX first collapsed, whoever does his marketing, they put him out there as like a mini digital savior kind of thing. So it was reported that he was going to try and buy up FTX to save them. I think when Terra Luna collapsed, I think he was also going to try and buy a portion of that as well. He's always in the news as like someone who's standing at the top of the rock and like, "I'll save you," but he never actually ends up doing it. Like, it's never like an actual thing. So years ago, there was a crypto exchange called Poloniex, which no one was really using. It was there as like an exchange that we had, but it was kind of like Binance before Binance became Binance. It was an exchange that existed in the background where you could kind of deal in every single coin, but it wasn't really stable. There were news stories years ago that apparently, I believe it was Poloniex and like 2 other exchanges had problems with people withdrawing their funds. And there was something about Dogecoin back then where people like couldn't get their Dogecoin off. It was a whole debacle, basically. And then at some point, Justin Sun came forward and was like, "I'm going to buy Poloniex." And I think his marketing team assumed that would, give Poloniex new life and or make people want to use it again. And this is where we currently are. I needed to give you all that information to let you understand that literally every investment that he's touched within the cryptocurrency space has kind of fallen apart. I think he became very popular because he has a lot of money and like almost nothing else. Not a joke. That's literally what it is. Even from the very beginning, His whole story, like his origin story, was that he was working with, what's that billionaire in China? The guy who made Alibaba. It was the news story was that like they were very close friends. They were hanging out, and there was like a photo of them like being side by side, like shaking hands. And then people found out that that photo was actually because Justin's son went to a university or had a course at a school. Jack Ma went to a school that he had funded, and at some point Jack Ma came to the school and was just shaking people's hands, and that, so it's you know, he wasn't his friend, was the generalized thing. The people, Tron also said that they had partnered with Amazon at one point, but they were simply paying for Amazon Web Services. It's just literal. And stop it. And I'm also certain that Tron was, I'm certain that Tron was one of the coins back in 2017, 2018, when people began to go through their code, and they found out that it was just copy and pasted from another coin. Even their white paper, like look it up, like look up Tron white paper, copy and paste. You'll definitely find it. People were finding entire paragraphs taken from other coins' white paper that was simply slammed together, and they made Trons. And I think the excuse was like, oh no, like it's an homage to them. Like, we love these coins so much. And I was like, so a lot of times people wonder why I don't like coins. I see the comment section. I see people talking on Twitter like, why is TMI always hating on these coins? Because I've been here for so long. Like, I know this is garbage. Like, I know, like, it is literal hot steaming garbage. Like, I've been through all of this. You learn a lot when you go through news on something every single day. It's absolutely incredible. Like, if you compile all this news together, it's the same exact thing with Solana. Like, it's literal garbage. Like, you should know that if you've been here for the last 15 months, you know this. And there are multiple other coins that have no partnership, no usage, nobody wants them. They continue to make tons of fake news to make you believe that something is happening with them. And it's not. No one wants them. No one's using it. There's a reason why the news is literally 90% Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP. These coins were chosen years ago, and I hate the term elite, but by the financial upper echelon as the coins that were going to make it. Other coins, of course, may be sprinkled around in the news every now and again, but they don't have the hundreds of partnerships. They're not partnered with banks. They're not partnered with countries. How can you sit there and be like, well, Tron's going to recover? I don't get it. I don't understand how you can do that to your money, how you can make sure that you make a bad bet. You make sure that you throw your money into garbage. It doesn't make any sense. The actual news today, I had to give you the whole history just so you understand that this is once again another situation. It says Justin's son-owned Poloniex exchange has suffered a major security breach. Apparently, the first numbers that I saw, people were reporting that apparently $60 million had been stolen. Then I saw $62 million, and I saw websites say $84 million, and I saw one say $100 million. The number apparently right now is $126 million in crypto after hackers drained their hot wallet. There's a difference between a hot wallet and a cold wallet. The cold wallet is essentially not connected to the internet. That is like your ledger. Like, it's not plugged into your computer. It's not plugged into the internet. A hot wallet is one that is literally always online. And many exchanges, if not all the mega exchanges, have hot wallets, but there's usually very little coins that are actually on that wallet. And or you simply do not have one hot wallet. You would maybe have around 100 or 100 different things that are going on. So should one be breached and $1 million get stolen from it, you at least have the other 99 as you catch the problem, and you have $99 million remaining. If you have everything on one hot wallet and a hacker gets it, all that money is gone. Sun said that Poloniex will reimburse all affected users and is willing to give the hacker a 5% bug bounty if they return the money. This is something that can happen but doesn't usually happen. they try to reason with the person who stole from them and say, hey, if you give us back the money, we won't, they usually say, we won't press any charges, we won't have any problems, and we'll give you 5% of what you stole as a thank you. It's backwards, but it sometimes works, but not all the time. The issue is that the money that this person stole, as blockchains are relatively transparent, this person's now going to have a very difficult time actually liquidating these funds. So you can't simply take the money from Poloniex, put it onto your computer, and then sign up for Coinbase and try and liquidate it. So, you know, they usually say, hey, if you give it back, all is kind of forgiven. But usually this money is not given back. And people find ways to kind of, I don't want to use the word clean, but, you know, get rid of the dirt on the crypto that they actually have. Poloniex fell victim to a cyber attack, resulting in the theft of around $126 million. Hackers were able to compromise one of their hot wallets, which are wallets linked to the internet, to allow for faster access to funds. And apparently this wasn't even, allegedly, this wasn't even found out by Poloniex. The suspicious outflows were first flagged by blockchain security firm PeckShield, pointing to the blockchain explorer on Etherscan, which showed transfers from the Poloniex 4 wallet to 4 externally owned wallets linked to a hacker. And here's the thing right here where they found the information and they were basically like, hey, you guys want to look at your own system because something doesn't seem right. So this ended up making, the word's not popular news, but it was kind of everywhere news. I honestly don't know what else to say after this. Everything Justin Sun touches ends up being like this. So it's nice that they're going to reimburse everyone. That's absolutely incredible. But please stop buying stuff. Like, please stop trying to like be. I don't. Maybe it's personally because I don't have access to like $500 million that I can't understand the mindset. But I'm almost certain with $500 million, if not more, I'd be in crypto, but not in crypto. So I would own crypto, but I'd also be like on the island that I own, and it would just be me and my friends having fun and having parties and like, you know, doing cool things. I'm once again not understanding. So the news is Poloniex was hacked for at least $126 million. You know, cool, fantastic. I hope people actually do get their money back. This space is so incredibly odd. It's like years ago when these people consistently kept on coming out and telling, I don't want to use it anyway. The point is, over the years, the cryptocurrency space has had its fair share of very interesting people within the market, and people follow them for some reason for years without them actually like producing anything. Like, there's never any actual value created. They don't buy up these companies. They don't do anything. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. I hope none of you had your money on Poloniex. If you did, you'll get your money back. Always keep in mind, even though Coinbase is not my favorite exchange and I don't use them, just understand that there are options for you out there to have like an actual like secure crypto exchange in some sort of way. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever the heck you might be. I do hope it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, paying attention, supporting, and paying attention to the news that continues to come out there. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See